Hi everyone, welcome to our physics class. My name is Anna Sky. You'll call me Miss Sky or Mrs. Sky. I'm making this video to introduce myself so I can share about who I am as a person and what I care about as your teacher. I'm going to explain our class a little bit more fully in the next video, but you might be wondering why you're watching a video and what happens next. So I want to start off just sharing very quickly about what this is going to look like. Basically, I use this model called the Modern Classroom Project, in which I turn anything that I would lecture into a video so that you can watch it at your own pace. And then once you are done with a lesson, you complete a mastery check that shows me that you actually did the lesson and you understood it. What that's going to look like this time for this lesson is you're watching this video right now about me introducing myself, and then you're going to watch a second video in which I explain how the class works. And following that, then you will come up to the front of the room, you'll grab the mastery check, and you'll complete that, and that will show me. I don't typically show you what the mastery check looks like in the video, but it does make sense for this video. So basically what you're going to be doing after you've watched these two videos is you'll be writing me a letter introducing yourself, and also sharing your reactions to how I introduce the class and the class structure. All right, so just to start off introducing myself, I think it's we might connect over my educational history. Maybe there's some things that we have in common here. So I went to school from first grade through eighth grade at a really small school where basically there was like 30 students in my class that we all just kind of followed each other. 400 students total at this school. By the time that I got through eighth grade, I mean, I loved the school. I loved the school. But by the time I got to eighth grade, I was so ready for a larger school experience. And I wanted to have that traditional high school experience where I got to be involved in sports and clubs, etc. So I went to my neighborhood school, which was Cleveland High School. And I got that. It was fantastic. I was on the soccer team for 4 years. I dabbled in drama and then realized I was much better at choir. And so I got really involved in the choir program. And I really took advantage of kind of that larger structure of the high school. After high school, I went to college at Whitman College, in Eastern Washington. I studied geology there. It's a study of earth and rocks. Following that, I came back and I worked at OMSI. And then I also worked at MLC in the summer camp and after school program. After a few years of doing this, I realized that I really liked working with kids and I wanted to be a teacher and I should get paid better to work with kids. So I got my master's degree from Lewis and Clark College, and then I taught middle school science at Marysville and then switched over to Franklin. So that's where we are today. A little bit about me. This is my family. That's my husband, Lee, my son, Zeke, and our cat, Babadook. Bonus if you know where that name reference comes from. And we are expecting our second, so there's my placeholder for our second child as well. I know that this is bound to become outdated very quickly, but hopefully I won't need to remake this video next year. Here are 2024 pictures of Zeke over the summer. So he's a little bigger than he is in this picture as well. All right, when I'm not teaching, I love being outside. I love being outside. So any season, I've got my different activities that I do. And this is just like kind of a smattering of them. So I also really love doing woodworking projects. I don't do a ton, but I really liked these two. They were really challenging. There were a lot of like puzzle pieces to this that I really enjoyed. If you're in any of the art classes, I really love to see your work. I think it's really fun to look at that. So please share. I also enjoy doing slower things. A good walk on Tabor is wonderful. And working in my garden, I actually really love to weed. A lot of people hate weeding, but I find it very therapeutic. So just to kind of close out this video, I want to share some of my beliefs as your teacher. So first of all, I believe that if we can see how science relates to our lives, if we can make connections to science, it's so much more interesting than when we just learn facts in the abstract. And it makes it more enjoyable to challenge ourselves in class as well. With that in mind, I believe that learning science content is okay. It is necessary, and I will assess you on science content understanding, but I do believe that it's much more important to learn science skills. Learning how to do investigations, how to engineer, how to be able to find answers to things that we're curious about, using resources, being able to look at graphs and making sense of that. All of that is so much more useful of a skill than having some hard science facts that you memorized. Even if you don't think of yourself as a science person, even if you haven't like historically had a lot of success in science classes, I do believe that you will get excited about some things that we do in class this year. And finally, I believe that all of you will leave this class feeling more confident in your ability to practice science. So, with that in mind, I that's just a little bit about myself. What I'd like for you to do right now is to summarize, write your lesson summary, and then move on to the next video to learn a little bit more about how this class works. All right, I'll see you in the next video.